demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kand. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prem. So once again, welcome to today's call and thank you very much for joining us. Before we move on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class, I will let all the devotees on the call to please go ahead with your introductions now.
Hare Krishna, Lila Priya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lila Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lila Priya Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Brahma.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lila Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My Dandavat Pranam to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Any more introductions before we start the class?
Hare Krishna, Lila Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sanatana Dharma from Sharjah, UAE. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji would be enlightening us by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, and verse 37. But before we dive into this next giant class, I would request Shamagari Mataji to share a brief introduction about our today's speaker, His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Shamagari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and over to you. Shamagari Mataji.
Mataji, if you have the introduction, please go ahead and read.
I don't. I don't have the introduction, so I don't know where to look for. I don't see the introduction in YouTube as well, so thank you.
I sent in the group, Mataji. You can take from there.
All right, so before we dive into this nectarine class, I'm going to share a very brief introduction about our today's speaker. His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Sorry, what's that? Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji is a brahmachari from ISKCON Pune. He's a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 12 years. Prabhuji has studied B.Tech from NIT Trichy. Prabhuji has worked as a senior manager in Tata Motors, Pune. His current services include area management and project development head at areas around Pune. He is a counselor, youth, and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at Voice Organization, and he also has a remote mentor for NVCC Pune Temple. Prabhuji knows many languages such as English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. His degree include Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, IDC, and Teachers Training course. Any news on Prabhuji? Hare Krishna Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Without further ado, I would like to request you to please take over from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Requesting all the devotees to kindly turn on the videos. It's a request. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangumam daite girim. Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Extremely happy to be with all of you. But I'm not able to see any of you because you're not agreeing to be merciful upon me. So requesting devotees to kindly be merciful by turning on videos. So you can do whatever you want, but don't give me those black boxes. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class and our discussion. So we are to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 9th chapter, Shloka number 37. That's what we are going to discuss from. 7, 9, 37. Okay. So this particular section is a very special section with the prayers of Prahladh Maharaj. Yes. So these are all wonderful prayers, the essence. If you ever seen Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam contains 3 P's. Wherever I just made a word file for all of you. I will be taking down some notes if needed. I've changed my style of teaching and presentation a little bit. Okay. Yeah. The Srimad Bhagavatam contains these 3 P's. The first P stands for pastimes. This really attracts the newcomers. Those devotees who are newcomers, they get very much attracted to the pastimes. And there's philosophy. The intellectuals are very much attracted by the philosophy. And then there are prayers. The very essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, the prayers. So in the 7.9.37, so if you see the 7th canto 9th chapter is entitled Prahladh Maharaj pacifies Narasimha with prayers. So this is Prahladh Maharaj pacifying prayers and we are at 37, right? Number 37. So this particular chapter has got many wonderful prayers in the beginning. I'll just try to summarize a few. So Prahladh Maharaj's prayers are almost for totally 43 prayers are there in this chapter. 43 prayers. And we are on prayer number 37. I will not be able to explain all the prayers what have happened. It will be difficult. But all I can say is in the past, Now, if you see specifically, the previous verse 36, yes, it was connected to Brahmaji, right? The 36th prayer was connected to Brahmaji. Let us see the 36th prayer. Yeah. Lord Brahma could then see you possessing thousands and thousands of faces, feet, heads, hands, thighs, noses, ears, and eyes. You are very nicely dressed, being decorated and bedecked with varieties of ornaments and weapons. Seeing you in the form of Lord Vishnu, your symptoms and form being the transcendental, your legs extending from the lower planets, Lord Brahma achieved transcendental bliss. Correct? So the same theme is continued. How Lord had given pleasure to Brahma by appearing and supporting the universe in the last verse, Sahasra Shirsha. We see this Purusha Sukta prayers, right? So how Lord had pleased Brahma. So that was the theme in 7:9:36, because Brahma is the creator of this universe. And a creator cannot do much without the support of the Supreme Lord, who's the maintainer. Right? So that is the reason this particular theme of Brahma's pacification of Brahma's pleasure is there. And there was one more special incarnation who came for protecting Brahma when Brahma was in deep soup and deep trouble. And about that particular incarnation is mentioned in Shloka number 37. We're going to study about that very special incarnation who appeared for Brahma when Brahma was in deep trouble. So what was that? We're going to see that. Okay. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 7:9:37. Tasmai bhavan hayashirastanuvam hivabrat vedat druhavati balau madhu kaita bhakyo hatvana yachruti ganam charajastamascha sattvam tava priyatamam tanu amananti. We can just see the word to word quickly. Tasmai, unto Lord Brahma, Bhavan, your Lordship. We'll see the word to word in the notes. Yeah. Tasmai unto Brahma. So the same theme is being continued unto Brahmaji. So Lord having appeared for Brahmaji again. For Brahmaji, he did something very amazing. Bhavan, your Lordship, Hayashiraha. Hayashira means having the head and neck of a horse. Yes, and the body was the body of Narayana, the Supreme Lord. But the head was that of a horse. Tanuvam, the incarnation. He, indeed, Vibrat, accepting. Vedadruhu. Vedadruhu means those who are against the Vedas. Usually it's the demons who are against the Vedas. Yes, Vedadruhu. Yes. Atibalau. Oh, they were very, very powerful. And their names were Madhu, Kaitava, Akhyau. They were known as Madhu and Kaitava. Satva, he killed them. Anayat, delivered, Shruti Ganan, all the different Vedas, namely Sama, Yajur, Rig, Atharva. So Prabhupada writes in the first canto of Bhagavatam, originally the Vedas, Yajur Veda. And later on the Veda of Yajur Veda was divided into Sama, Ajur, Rig and Atharva by Vyasadev. We read that in the first canto, the divisions of the Vedas so that it can be assimilated by the less intelligent people. But originally the Veda is Yajur Veda. Yes. Cha Rajaha Tamaha. Yes. So Madhu represents Tamogun and Kaitava represents Rajogun. Yes, so they were the representatives of passion and ignorance. Sattvam, pure transcendental goodness, Tava. And Lord represents Sattva, the pure transcendental goodness. Priyatamam, most dear, form as Hayagriva. So Hayagriva, Amananti, they honor. Right? So these two demons, Madhu and Kaitav. If you see, Brahmaji, he possessed the Vedas. The Vedas came into written format. Yes, written format only about 5,000 years back. Vyasadeva saw that the people of this Kali Yuga, they have very, very pathetic memories. So we need to write. So it is Vyasadeva who wrote the Vedas 5,000 years back. So before that, Vedas were in the form of pure sound vibration in the heart of Brahma. Correct? So in Brahma's inner system, Brahma's entire body is made of intelligence. But in Brahma's system were the Vedas, in his heart, in the pure sound format. But Madhu and Kaitava, the representatives of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Madhu, Kaitava. Yes, they stole the Vedas. So Brahma had Vedas in the form of soft copy, not hard copy. Soft copy, it was within his chitta. They stole it. So that much is the influence of this mode of passion and ignorance, how dangerous it is. We all have to understand. So that is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes in his book very clearly, in his writings, that one should curb ignorance. Ignorance has to be curbed. Passion has to be diminished. Diminish passion. And we should do all those activities which enrich goodness. Yes, we should live a lifestyle of Satvagunna. Yes, Bhakti is Shuddha Sattva. But we have to practice a lifestyle which is Sattvaguna, very important. Otherwise, we will, what if we don't do this, what will happen? We will lose all knowledge. What all we have heard from Guru, what all we read in Bhagavatam, what all Prabhupada lecture you have heard, what all Bhakti Sanga Japa lectures we hear, we'll forget everything. Everything will be forgotten. So all our hard work of so much of investing time, energy, effort. How much time did it take for Brahma to actually get the Vedas? Long time. Brahmaji had to do tapasya for thousands celestial years. Yes, to get knowledge, to get realization. Thousands celestial years. This much austerity. And to lose it? Oh, lose it can take one moment. That's it. One small association with Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Yes. We can lose everything. Everything will be lost. So it takes a huge time to gain realization. That's what we observe. If you see Vishwamitra, yes. So Vishwamitra, to get Tapobal, how much time did it take? 60,000 years. Correct? To lose it, yes, just one moment of association with first Menaka. He fell prey to lust. He lost everything. He lost it. Again, the 60,000 years, he did Tapobal. So much of tapasya. But one moment of association with Ramba, anger. He became angry towards Ramba. He lost everything. 60,000 years of again Tapobal. But one move that he made to actually help Trishanku, he lost everything. Srila Prabhupada writes in a very beautiful purport. This comes in 321.5. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, I just wanted to share with all of you, that without proper principles of brahmacharya, this is not a brahmachari class, but brahmacharis are in, there are 5 types of brahmacharis, you know. Brahmacharis are of 5 types. There is brahmachari, there is grihastha brahmachari, yes. Then there is vanaprastha brahmachari, sannyasi brahmachari, and brahmacharini brahmachari. So thus, everybody has to practice this philosophy of brahmacharya. And Prabhupada writes here, bogus is the philosophy, you can read it. Bhogas is the philosophy where one can go on with sex life. Till the end of one's life, one can go on with sex life and one will go to Golok Vrindavan. Not possible. If one wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow brahmacharya. Yes? Very important. So even brahmacharya or Yajnavalkya has given very wonderful philosophy. And even many of the scriptures, Ayurveda also, they talk about it. They say that it takes 12 years of complete abstinence from any kind of sexual thought, any sexual thought. Can you give me one moment? I'll be back. I just closed the door. Nothing else. So 12 years of abstinence from any sexual thought is required for a person to get the total benefit of the semen. Then the semen goes to the head. It goes to the brain. Semen is actually the pure semen, which is a sukshma. It is not visible. It is having a subtle form. This is required for the nourishment of the brain. It directly nourishes the brain and one becomes very powerful. One develops a lot of finer values and sentiments. Viveka buddhi, tikshana buddhi, memorization power, smarana shakti, all these things one develops. 12 years. On the other hand, if one has one sexual thought, one loses the amount of semen created for 8 days. And in a sexual activity, one loses the semen that is created for 64 days. You go back by 64 days. So if you see here, to do anything constructive is so difficult. Yes, you want to climb up a 100-story building. Climbing, how much time it takes? It will take a lot of time. On the other hand, if you jump from there, it's going to take hardly a few seconds. That's all. It's very easy to fall down. Fall down is easy. Advancement is difficult. So we are all here to make advancement, right? Not to fall down. Fall down is very easy. So this is Madhu and Kaitava, they attack. My dear Lord, you appeared as Hayagriva with the head of a horse. You killed 2 demons known as Madhu and Kaitava, who were full of mode of passion and ignorance. Then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Brahma. Yes, so again, this was Brahma has the sole responsibility to propagate this Vedic knowledge. Yes, Brahma did so much of austerity to gain that knowledge. And the Lord actually rescued Brahma. Yes, what will happen if your memory is deleted? I'm not talking about a laptop's memory. I'm talking about your memory. If your memory is deleted, how will you feel? You don't know your name. You don't know anything. You don't know purpose of life. You don't know why you're living. You don't know who is God. What happens? That's what happened to Brahmaji. He lost all the knowledge. And that time it was Krishna who came in the form of Hayagriva. Yes, who is the one who delivered this Vedic knowledge back to Brahma? He said, Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chadi Utho Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. We sing this, right? Vibhavari Shesha. So for this reason, all great saints accept your forms as transcendental, untinged by material qualities. That's how the form of Lord is. Correct? So Lord rescued, saved his devotee. You saved Brahmaji. That was a link between the previous prayer and this prayer. So this is the greatest form of saving. Brahma means a person who is a supreme, great person. Why is he great? What makes him great? Not just because he's occupying the highest post. Makes him great because he has the knowledge of Vedas. Yes? And from his knowledge, the Vedas, he made many personalities. The Karma Kand section of Vedas, he gave it to Daksha. The Jnana Kand, he gave it to the 4 Kumaras. And the Bhakti, he gave it to Narada. And thus they propagated it. So everything started with knowledge, Vedas. Tene Brahma, Tene. So Janmadhyasya Tonvayadi Taratas Charteshva Vignya Swarat. So that particular shloka is Tene Brahma Hite Adi Kavaye Mugyanti Yatsuya. So it was Brahma. The Vedic knowledge was given to Adi Kavi, who was Brahma. It was given to him. Correct? We go on. Purport. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in His transcendental form is always ready to give protection to His devotees. Protection. He is ready to give. Correct? At any point of time. As mentioned herein, the Lord in the form of Hayagriva killed 2 demons, namely Madhu and Kaitaba, when they attacked Brahma. Modern demons think that there was no life in the beginning of creation. But from Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand that the first living creature created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Brahma, who is full of Vedic understanding. Unfortunately, those entrusted with distributing Vedic knowledge, such as the devotees engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness, may be sometimes attacked by demons. Okay, so this is Prabhupada is telling. It's a caution, word of caution to the preachers. May sometimes be attacked by demons, but they must rest assured that demon attacks will not be able to harm them. For the Lord is always prepared to give them protection. Right? Yes. So preacher's life is very risky. Yes, you look at the preachers, Nityanand Prabhu. Nityanand Prabhu had gone to preach along with Haridas Thakur. They took a great risk. And Jagai and Madai, they were after their life. They had to run for their life. And Nityanand Prabhu got hit. Risk is there in preaching. Jesus Christ, he was preaching Christianity. So he was crucified. Yes, so there's a great risk involved in preaching Krishna consciousness. Even Prabhupada, when he was in Bauri, Prabhupada was in Bauri, that time he had a person who was staying in the loft with him. His name was David. So this David, of course, Prabhupada initially thought that David will become a good devotee. He was very hopefully starting to chant. But one day David came, he was high on drugs, very high on drugs. And he came with a knife to attack Prabhupada. And Prabhupada had to go. He was on the road in the midnight. He had nowhere to go. Then he had to go to the house of Shamsundar Prabhu and Malti Mataji. He said, I have nowhere to go. And they took Prabhupada from their home. So Prabhupada had to face a lot of difficulty. There were a lot of risks, life-threatening risks. So to become a preacher is not easy. We hear the diary of traveling monk. His own is Indra Swami Maharaj. So whenever he puts up an event at Poland festival, there are always a group of people who are called skinheads. The skinheads come on the bike. They come on the bike, they come with chains and bottles. And they always threaten that we will close down this Krishna's village of peace. The entire pandal, the entire show that you're going to put up, we're going to close it down. So they always challenge. That is there. So thus we have to see that a preaching requires, that is why a preacher is very dear to Krishna. Yes, Krishna says, right? Ya idam paramam bhuyam mad bhaktejo vidasati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyasya samshaya. Why is a preacher very dear to Krishna? Correct? Krishna mentions in the 18, Natha tasman manusheshu kashtin me priya krittama bhavita nachame tasman anya priyataro bhui. There will be nobody more dear. Why? Because preachers take a great risk They take this risk to preach. And Krishna gives them all protection. Even if you see in the Varnashram, there's only one category of people who never take risk. That is Shudras. They cannot take risk. Vaishyas, they have to take risk in business. Yes, without risk, there is no business. Correct? So in business, they take risk. Kshatriyas, oh, huge risk. They have to go and fight battles. They take a risk of life. Brahmanas, yes, they also take a risk. It's a huge risk on their purity. They risk their purity, just like that. Just like devotees, they also risk their purity. So even devotees, they take risk for preaching. As preachers have to take risk and preach. Normally what happens is, many times preachers, what they want, you give us a ready-made audience. Yes, we will just go. There's a ready-made audience willing to accept. We'll go and give class. This is what majority of the people want. But it takes great deal of risk to go and encounter new people. Yes. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 36 purport, Prabhupada says why this Krishna consciousness movement exists. We have to convert unwilling men. Prabhupada mentions this word, you can put it in the search. So the attempt to convert unwilling men should go on. This is an instruction that Prabhupada is giving all of us through his purports. That is why devotees who fall out of their comfort zones go to Sankirtan, go to book distribution, they collect contacts, invite them to temple programs or house programs, invite them. Yes, invite them. So this attempt should go on, encountering new people. This should happen. But in course of encountering these new people, Prabhupada says there will be anti-elements. A lot of people are anti-elements. And we have to encounter them. This is a must. But devotee has to face anti-elements. Because these anti-elements, we have to understand, the anti-elements who come, they are actually the ones who will bring out the best of the devotee. Yes, it's an opportunity for us to bring out our best. What? It's a test to bring out the best. Test of one's faith, test of one's surrender. Correct? Many times devotees who went for preaching, yes, they were put in jail. Yes, devotees who went for Sankirtan, they were put in jail. They went for Sankirtan nicely. They were put behind bars. So Prabhupada was reported. Prabhupada first time told, okay, don't worry. Even Krishna was born in jail. Second time he said, okay, you go to jail anyway. Yaar dekhe tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. You preach in jail. Correct? Go on. So there's always a risk. Risk of being attacked by demons. That will be there. But the demons are not going to win. Never going to win. The Vedas provide the knowledge by which we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, that is the purpose of Vedas. What is the purpose of Vedas? Cha sarver aham eva vedyah. So this is the very purpose of Vedas. The purpose of Vedas is to understand Krishna. So anybody who has studied Vedas should actually reach the Vedanta. Veda Anta means the conclusion. Veda Anta, the conclusion of Vedas. And that is actually to know Krishna. Correct? And somebody says he's a student of Vedas. We don't understand Krishna, there is no use. Once there were two Vedantists. One was Trivedi, one was Chaturvedi. Both of them came to Prabhupada. They said, we have studied the Vedas very nicely. Prabhupada asked, who is God? They started to speak all big philosophy. Prabhupada said, you are simply bluffing. He called a small child. He called a small child and he asked, who is God? The child said, Prabhupada, Krishna is God. And Prabhupada took one cookie and gave it to the child. And then he asked the child, what is the goal of life? He said, Prabhupada, going back home, back to Godhead. He took another cookie and gave it to the child. These Vedantis, they ran away. So Vedantis is bogus if one doesn't reach the Veda Anta. Veda Anta, the conclusion of Vedas is to understand Krishna. And not just understand Krishna, to become a devotee of Krishna, to serve Krishna. That's what even Brahma did. Brahma studied the Vedas 3 times. It took Brahma 3 readings of study to come to Bhakti Yoga, the conclude. Bhakti Yoga. He came to the conclusion. Right? Because that is the end. Be all and end all of the Vedas. Alright, let's proceed ahead. The devotees of the Lord are always ready to spread knowledge by which one may understand the Lord through Krishna consciousness. But the demons, being unable to understand the Supreme Lord, are full of ignorance and passion. Okay, so Prabhupada is distinguishing devotee versus the demons. Thus the Lord, whose form is transcendental, is always ready to kill the demons. Oof. He's ready to kill the demons. That's why he has Sudarshan Chakra. The Lord mainly has 4 weapons. His Chakra and his Gada. Kaumodiki Gada. These 2 are for the demons. Correct? And the Shankha, the conch, by which he touched the head of Dhruva Maharaj and empowered him. And the flower, the Padma. That flower is for the devotees. It is said the color of this Kaumodiki club is not yellow. It is a red. It's a reddish in color. It has the stains of the demons. The blood stains of the demons are there on this club. By culturing the mode of goodness, one can understand the position of the Transcendental Lord and how the Lord is always prepared to remove all the obstacles on the path of understanding. Jai. Jai. It's amazing. Culture, the mode of goodness, Satvagunna. When you have Sattva, then you understand Krishna Tattva. Yes. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Pranta, Saba Shikhaila Prabhu, Bhagavata Siddhanta. You understand Krishna Tattva. Mainly if you see Bhagavad Gita as Krishna Tattva. Bhagavatam as Bhakti Tattva. And CC has the Rasa Tattva. Mainly, prominently propagated. So all these Tattvas can only be begotten on the basis of Sattva. A Sattva that gives this Tattva. We have to have this culture of Sattva. And any kind of Tamogun and Rajagun is like breaking the pot, creating cracks in the pot. And then all the Sattva can seep out. It will get out. So Lord is prepared to remove the obstacles on the path of Bhakti. Now there's Janmashtami coming. Yes, we have Janmashtami coming and all devotees are preparing their consciousness for Krishna Janmashtami by reading Krishna book. So if you see prominently in Vrindavan Lila of Krishna, yes, Vrindavan Lila, prominently, the first 40 chapters, there is killing of demons. Yes, killing of demons. The Lord, what are these demons? These demons, each demon represents one particular obstacle that a sadhaka faces in understanding Krishna. Correct? Whatever distorts. I'll just give 2-3 examples. Example, Putana. She represents a false guru, a bogus guru, bogus philosophy. That there is Shakatasura, the second demon. Shakatasura represents old bad habits which can resurface and a devotee may be pinned down by these bad habits. Then there is Trinavrat, third demon. Trinavrat represents pride of learning. So these are all different obstacles which come in a particular order. So His Divine Grace Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he has written a book, Demons in Vrindavan. So Krishna is prepared to kill all these demons. Before Krishna comes Balram Jayanti. It's actually Balram Purnima. We don't say Balram Jayanti. Jayanti is only used for Krishna. It's Balram Purnima. So Balram Purnima, if you see, Balramji kills 2 demons, which Krishna doesn't kill. So Balaram is a representative of Guru. Yes, and Guru kills two demons, Dhenukasur and Pralambasur. Pralamba. So Dhenuka represents what? Dhenuka represents ignorance. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So Guru destroys his ignorance by giving the ointment of knowledge. And Pralambasur represents the subtle lust, Puja Labha Pratishtha, Sukarira Vishtha. So this subtle lust is actually, one cannot detect it. It's only Guru who can detect it. And then Guru will give a big blow in form of chastisement. Then the disciple will get about the subtle lust. Pralambasur. Right? So this is all mentioned. So the purport said that Krishna is prepared to remove all the obstacles on the path of understanding. Yes. He's prepared. That's what the whole Vrindavan Leela is the same thing. All one by one, all obstacles Krishna removes. And two of obstacles Balramji or Guru removes. In summary, whenever the Lord incarnates, he appears in his original transcendental form. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. So this particular shloka tells us when the Lord descends. When Lord descends. So this is clarified in this particular shloka. So Lord descends whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice. When there is decline in dharma and rise of adharma, predominance of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Right? It is simply foolish to think of the Lord as being originally impersonal, but accepting a material body when he appears as a personal incarnation. What is this? The very famous sloka. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abuddhayah param bhavam ajananto lokoma matamapyam. So this is 7.24 Bhagavad Gita. Oh, originally the truth is impersonal, but he has taken a personal form. He says such fellows are abuddhayah. If you see, Krishna in 7.23 speaks of demigods worshippers. How are demigod worshippers? Demigods worshipper are alpa medasa. They have little buddhi, but at least they have buddhi. Correct? Some intelligence they have. That's why they're at least accepting some authority. But fellows who think like this, that I am impersonal, but I've come as a person, he says, abuddhaya, they have no brains. They are not intelligent. No brain is Prabhupada's version. Prabhupada says, oh, they have no brain. Dull fellows, dullards, useless bums, like that. So at least demigod worshippers, Krishna and Prabhupada both respect a little bit, alpa medasa, some buddhi. Oh, these fellows impersonalists, no buddhi, abuddhaya, fools. See, whenever Lord appears, he appears in his original transcendental form, which is spiritual and blissful. So these are all not manufactured forms, they are original forms of the Lord. They exist eternally. But unintelligent men such as Mayavadis cannot understand the transcendental form of the Lord, and therefore Lord chastises them by saying, Avajananti mam mudha. This is another place. Manushim tanum ashrit. Oh, that impersonal truth has come in the body of a human, which is material body. So they consider, the Mayavadis are those who considers Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, everything to be Maya. This is all Maya. Krishna's body is also made of Maya only. It is made of three modes. So that is why they are called Mayavadis. Their Vad, their philosophy, what they speak. The Vad means to speak, right? Vad karna, tark karna. So Mayavad means that's what they say. Everything is Maya. They say Krishna is Maya. We say you are also Maya. You are in Maya. So fools deride me when I descend in human form. Whenever the Lord appears, whether a fish, tortoise, frog or any other form, one should understand that he maintains the transcendental position. Yes. That is why, how does Arjuna address Krishna? Achyuta. Senayor ubayor madhye ratam stapya me achyuta. Krishna retains He maintains his original position. Although Krishna was playing the role of a Sarathi, a Suta, a Shudra, but still, it's not that he is fallen in his position. It's not that he takes the form of an animal or a demigod or a human. In any form, Krishna is infallible. He is always transcendental. So, and that is only business, as stated here, is Hatva, to kill the demons. Hatva. Of course, the Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chiddushkitam. This is the purpose of Lord's advent. The 4.7, Yada Yadai Dharmasya, is when he advents. The time or the occasion where the Lord comes. And the 4.8 gives the purpose why the Lord comes. Since the demons always are ready to oppose Vedic civilization, they are sure to be killed by the transcendental form of Lord. What is Vedic civilization? I'll tell you. Vedic civilization is summarized in 3 words. Prabhupada writes this in the first canto again. First canto is must read again and again. A lot of sutras, important points. Prabhupada has given everything in the first canto. So Vedic civilization has 3 points. First, there is cow protection. Then there is Brahmanical culture. And then there is God consciousness. Yeah. So when the cows are protected, yes, Prabhupada always called cow means, so there's the cow gives miracle food. Miracle food. Milk is called as miracle food. It directly nourishes the tissues of the brain. Yes, the brain tissues are nourished. And the brain tissues are nourished. Ahara Shuddho, Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddha, Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Labde Sarva Grantinam Viprabhokshanaha. This comes in Chandogya Upanishad. So Ahara Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi. Automatically the population will come to the platform of Sattva, goodness. Brahmanical population means who live a lifestyle of goodness, Satvagunna. Brahmanical culture. Brahmanas, Brahmanical culture. They live in that particular platform. And then, on this particular platform, there can be propagation of Krishna consciousness. Right? We were reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in the morning. So even there, Prabhupada was mentioning it as a duty of the devotees. We were discussing how Gopalji, Madhavendra Puri, he had established Gopal on the top of Govardhan Hill. And there, Govardhan Hill. So Gopalji is actually Giriraj, holding Govardhan. So Krishna held Govardhan Hill for a long time. So now Govardhan felt I should maybe I should hold Gopalji now. So that's why Gopalji is on top, Govardhan is below. Like that. So in that particular section, Prabhupada was mentioning that all the Vrajavasis are bringing lots and lots of items for Annakut, for the pleasure of the deity, Gopalji. They were bringing there. So Prabhupada was making this point. He was making that today the population is demoniac. The population is demoniac, and this such demoniac population will never accept Krishna consciousness. And mainly the main reason why they are demoniac is because of their eating habits. It's the eating habits which is making them demoniac. Prabhupada gives the secret. So it's the duties of the devotees to actually cook bhoga, supply ingredients, cook bhoga, offer to Lord, and distribute prasad. Prabhupada gives clear instructions. If this is done, we can finish off this demoniac population. The population will come eventually, gradually the population, their eating habits will improve. Yes. And then they will become Brahmanical in nature. Correct? And then they will become eligible. I can't say eligible. They'll get affinity to come to Krishna consciousness. Eligibility is another factor, which Rupa Goswami explains in the NOD. Affinity for Krishna consciousness. This is what happens. Okay? So we'll quickly sum up what all we discussed. Okay, I did not tell you how Madhu and Kaita were killed, right, by Hayagriva. Actually, Hayagriva and Madhu and Kaita had a fight, long fight. And all the demigods, they were all defeated by Madhu and Kaita. When they all had gone to Lord, appealed to the Lord that this Madhu and Kaita were practically invincible. It's only you who can kill them. So Lord took in the form of Hayagriva, Hayashirisha, and he went to fight with them. And they fought for a long time. And Madhu and Kaita had a boon. And their boon was only they can kill themselves. That is the boon. Only they can kill themselves. So Lord goes and fights with them for a long time. And he fights in such a way that Madhu and Kaita were impressed. They are so impressed, they tell the Lord, "Oh Lord, whatever you want, you ask us, we'll give you." Lord says, "I want you to die." And then they kill themselves. And that's how Madhu and Kaita were destroyed by Krishna. Correct? In the form of Hayagriva. So that was a point I thought I should mention. So we'll quickly see and summarize what we discussed, and then we'll have question answers. Okay. So we saw that how the verse, we saw the link between the previous verse and this verse. So that was how Brahmaji was, the Lord incarnated for Brahmaji. This was yet another incarnation for Brahmaji as Hayagriva. That was the connection. Neck of a horse, Hayagriva. Griva is neck and Haya is horse. And main point which was there was Rajogun and Tamogun can attack and steal our knowledge, whatever we hear. That is why Bhakti Vinod Thakur's point, curb ignorance. Ignorant activities have to be stopped. Ignorance has to be finished. We should use ignorance only for one thing, for sleeping, nothing else. Diminished passion is required. Without passion, we can't do wonderful things. Even preaching movement, passion is required. So we diminish it, reduce it, and the passion should be guided by goodness. But you have to increase our activities in mode of goodness. Right? Else we'll lose all the knowledge that we gained. Then we saw that how to gain knowledge through austerity, to gain tapobal, or to retain one's brahmacharya is so difficult. But to lose it takes one moment. That's all. One moment we lose everything. We saw that. So fall down is easy. Advancement is difficult. That was the theme that we discussed. The next theme that we discussed was Krishna gives all protection to preachers. And preachers are very dear to Krishna because they take risk. Yes, only the Shudras do not take risk. Otherwise, all the section of the society, the entire section of Varnashram society takes risk. So even preachers take risk. We saw how from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada's disciples, all of them risk so much for preaching. And that's why they make a lot of advancement. So even we have to take some risk. We do not take life risk. All the risk we have to do is take a risk of being insulted. That's all. You go to distribute books, person may say no. You go to somebody's home to distribute book, the person may shut the door on your face. That's the maximum you will face. Nobody's going to come to kill you at least. However, we should go out and encounter new people. We have to take, and the attempt to convert unwilling men should go on. The Prabhupada's instruction we can follow. Right? Anti-elements will keep coming. Anti-element comes in our life means there's a test of our faith. The test to bring out our best. That is something that is happening. Let's do that. Devotees were all put into prison and they made so many advancements. The next theme was about how Krishna is very much prepared to kill all the demons. Yes, which pose obstacles in the life of a devotee in understanding Krishna. Correct? Yeah, that's okay. We saw that all the demons in Vrindavan, they were all different obstacles in the path of bhakti. And how Krishna and Balram both killed them. So Balram Purnima and Krishna Janmashtami is coming up. So we are all preparing our consciousness. So we should pray to Balramji and Krishna, both of them, to kill the obstacles which do not lead us to the understanding of Krishna. Correct? Then finally we saw what is Vedic civilization. So Vedic civilization means cow protection, Brahminical culture, God consciousness. And this is systematic. When cow is protected, the milk nourishes tissues, produces goodness. And then later on, the Brahminical culture is something that leads to God consciousness. Step 1, 2, 3. Right? And finally, instruction of Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 4th chapter. In one of the purports, Prabhupada mentions that people are demonic because of eating habits. And it's up to us, devotees, to distribute prasad, destroy their pathetic eating habits, demonic eating habits, and make them have affinity for Krishna consciousness. So thank you all very much. I would like to pause here and invite devotees for question answers.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams to you. Many thanks for enlightening us today, and thank you so much for your session. With your permission, let us move to the question answer session, if you allow. Dear devotee,
Please bless me with
yes,
questions.
please raise your hands. If you want to share any realizations, also you can come forward. Yes. Vali Murthy Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ali Murthy is Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Yes,
Please
Mataji.
go ahead.
Yeah. I heard Prabhuji about Hayagriva incarnation, and before that, Vishnu was lying and in his deep sleep, right? Before Brahma wakes him up, and there are some stotras of Vishnu also from Brahmaji.
Yes.
In that, in the beginning, he says like, just a minute. Madhukaitava Bhanjani is also called Maya Devi, right, Prabhuji? In that they say that Madhukaitava are also killed by Bhagavati, because they say Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. So that is the line where I said like before that Brahma will start praying Lord Vishnu to wake up from the sleep and get these demons killed, right? Madhu and Kaitava.
What is your question, Mataji? I couldn't get your question.
Before Hayagriva's incarnation, Brahma starts praying Lord Vishnu, right, to go and kill these demons.
Yeah, all the demigods also pray. All demigods headed by Brahma, they all pray, correct?
Yeah. So in that part, Brahmaji is praying for Nidra Devi before praying to Vishnu. So how is that possible? Like Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. That's the line I'm thinking about. Bhagavati Nidra
Nidram
Devi
Bhagavati
Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. Yeah, when we are in deep
Where did you
sleep,
get
even
this?
the Vishnu, this is from Devi Mahatya Puranam Prabhuji. So they say Madhukaitava Bhanjani, and before Madhukaitava were killed by Vishnu, but before that he was in deep sleep, and Brahmaji starts praying Nidra Devi. Because you said that Madhu and Kaitava were in the passion of ignorance, right? So to avoid that ignorance also, how he got that prayers in his mind, because everything is stolen by him, the demons.
See, when your knowledge is stolen, it's not that you are. We need to understand, even in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna mentions that in the Sarivaya Maya Tebe Yoga Prokta Puranatanaha, so he says that I'm going to revive this knowledge. Evam Parambara Praptam Vimrajeshu Sakalini Himata Yogo Nashta Parantap. Nashta. So there, if you see what Prabhupada meant by Nashta, the Nashta means the original purport is lost. So the knowledge was there, but the purport was lost. So when it's not that a person who is attacked by ignorance and passion will lose one's information, but he will not be able to act on the right purport of those instruction. That he will lose. He loses the wisdom.
Yeah, but still they know that they are going out
So
of path, and we
Brahmaji,
have to correct.
we cannot eliminate everything from Brahmaji in the sense, but the main purport is lost. The purpose and the purport is lost. That's what happens when we are attacked by ignorance and passion. True.
Yeah.
So Brahmaji, his knowledge is stolen doesn't mean he forgot Sanskrit. He forgot everything
Yeah.
else.
Mhm. So as you said, Prabhuji, this Balaramji comes as Guru, and the ignorance to come out of that time, we need to take the shelter of Gurus, right?
Yes.
To get into the right path.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very, very wonderful class. And you said you are coming to US. When is your trip, Prabhuji?
I will let you know, Matas. Well, when the dates
We
are
are
out, I'll
waiting
let
for
you
you,
know.
Prabhuji. Please come to
Thank
Chicago. We
you.
have a beautiful new temple here. Hare Krishna.
Sure. Thank you, Matas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for asking beautiful question and enlightening us. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the answer. Prabhuji, I don't see any question or hand raised in the chat box as well. There is one, Prabhuji. Devotees are giving you, they are offering the obeisances, also they are giving the gratitude. So Ram Rupa Gopal Prabhuji is offering your obeisances and saying thanks. Aishwarya Mataji is also saying thanks, and many
Hare
devotees are.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my obeisances. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming on the call after long time, Prabhuji. We were missing you like
Hare Krishna.
anything, Prabhuji. You were in Canada, you were in...
Oh. Yeah, because Canada devotees squeezed me. They had engaged me morning, afternoon, evening, night.
Yeah,
I had absolutely no time to move.
yeah, I thought it's
So all
same
programs
time
were booked.
zone, so maybe you will be able to give class in the morning, so that's why.
Yeah, same time zone was there, Mataji, but they're planned parallel. In fact, time zone is not same, I'll be free. So this afternoons are usually free for me. That makes it very convenient for me to come here in India, but there it's difficult.
Yeah, and when you are coming to US, Prabhuji, please remember we are in Charlotte. So let me know if you, you have some
Sure, Mataji.
1 or 2
Sure.
days, so we can plan, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so much.
Sure,
And
boss. Thank you.
very wonderful
Thank you.
class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji, there is one more hand raise. Anita Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, you were saying that we have to take risk in preaching, right? So how to understand this risk while we do the preaching in the family?
Oh, preaching in the family. Hare Krishna, very difficult. This preaching in the family should be done by let other devotees take risk. You connect your family members to other devotees. Usually people in the family, they have seen our all transcendental activities in the beginning, right? So they know who we are. And they too much, we are too familiar to them. So it's very usually a big challenge to preach. Yes, we set good example of being a good family member. And that good example is something that is a preaching. I just gone to Canada as maybe Shama Guri Mataji was saying. So I just asked all devotees how you came to Krishna consciousness. I made good relationship with many devotees. So one of the devotees, I'd asked him, I just asked a question. Prabhuji, how you came to Krishna consciousness? He said, I was the driver of my wife. I used to go leave her to temple and I used to go and do my things. And then I used to go back when she's done, she would give me a call when she's taking prasadam. I would go back, pick her up and come back home. That's it. That was the only thing I was doing. She was interested. I was absolutely not interested, but I never stopped her. But in course of her attendance of programs and taking up Krishna consciousness, I observed that she became a better person. And that's what really gave me faith that this process works. So I also took it up seriously, understood Krishna consciousness, and both of them are now wonderfully practicing initiated devotees. So the best way to preach to family members through us is by setting a good example. And if you want them to get closer to Krishna, then it's best to direct it and route it through other devotees. Okay. There is a question online. Meanwhile, Her Grace Lalitangi Radha Mataji asks, I'll just take the online question right away. How can we make a seemingly difficult 100-story upward climb in spiritual life happy and easy? Hari Bol. Very simple answer. This is given by Rishabdev in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Rishabdev in the Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, we have to climb 100 stories. We have to climb this 100 stories building and go. Usually it's a staircase. Staircase go. But the association is like a lift. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte tamo dwaram yoshitam sangi sangam pahantaste samachitta prashanta vimanyavas supradas sadhu sadavoy. So this Mahat seva. So this is that lift. Mahat seva is that lift, upward lift, which takes us above to Golok Vrindavan easily. It opens the doors. The doors of the lift open, you can go sit inside and you can go up very fast. So service to great souls gives Mahat Kripa because there are 3 factors. One is called Sukriti. Sukriti is Bhakti Unmukh Sukriti from previous life. This is not in our control. The second is Swacheshtha. Yes, we have to do our own sadhana. Swacheshtha, our endeavor also should go on. But then there is Mahat Kripa. This Mahat Kripa is something you get by Mahat Seva. Opportunity to serve great soul. This is something that can make us progress light years in Krishna consciousness. You can go at a huge speed very quickly. You can make light years of advancement. So that's a very easy way to climb the building by getting into the lift of Mahat Seva.
Prabhuji, there is one more question. What is the age of Bhakti? Sorry, Prabhuji, have you completed the answer?
What is the age to do Bhakti Shastri course? Kaumaram Acharit Pragnu. There is the age given in the Bhagavatam. But of course, every board of Bhakti Shastri sets the different standards. The board that we have in Pune is set a standard of 18 years. That's a standard that is given. 18 years is a standard given by the Pune's board. So there may be US board, European board, Australian board. They all might have set different age limits.
So, Pranav Prabhuji is also asking, requesting you for coming to please visit ISKCON Nigri temple and give some youth course there for the teenagers and give you an association as well. So it's a request to you.
Called by management, I'll definitely oblige. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Please go ahead with the question.
I'll take this one last question.
Yeah. Lalitangi Mataji, she has the question. Mataji, please go ahead with the question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranams. Thank you so much for this very wonderful class. So my question is the ignorance and passion attacking the life of a devotee. I mean, we know that Vishwamitra had this and then he had to redo everything. One thing is protecting ourselves from attack. Second is if that attack happens, so what does a devotee do to come back?
Attack, if we need not say if the attack will happen. Attack will surely happen. Attack will surely happen. We have to do only one thing. Flee. This is the word used by Prabhupada in his translation. Flee to the lotus feet of Bhagavan and Bhagavat and his pure devotees. This is what you have to flee. Run. What is the meaning of flee? Full speed. Full speed. Don't even think. Just run. This is what you do. And the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is based on this principle of fleeing to the lotus feet of Bhagavan and his devotees. Not even thinking, just running. Suppose somebody tells there's a snake in the room, what you'll do? Flee outside. There's a bomb in the room, flee outside. Not even think, don't think. If it is there, really, let me check. Where is it exactly? You show me first, show the photograph, show the video. No, just run. So when this happens, you have to learn to flee. The whole purpose of Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, we do everyday Srimad Bhagavatam hearing, and we hear the different examples of the characters of Bhagavatam, how they are taking shelter of the Lord. how they're taking shelter, because everybody is facing problem. What did Parikshit Maharaj do? Flee to the lotus feet of the Lord and devotees. That's all. Flee. This is what we need to do. Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
I have
Prabhuji.
to
We
proceed
look
ahead
forward for
now.
your association. Yes, Prabhuji. We understand that you need to leave, and I request all the devotees to pay obeisances to the Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
Vaishnavebhyo
नमः
Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jai
Jai.
Sanatana Prabhuji.
ki jai.
जय
The Lord
जय
and
सनातन
Prabhuji
धर्म
jai.
प्रभु की
Ki
जय
jai.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.